Good afternoon, boys and girls. This is Avinash Agarwal, your success guide in the journey of scoring more marks, cracking exams, and achieving your goals. And today I'm going to discuss with you 10 topper secrets to score more in the exams. In the last 15 years, I've interacted with thousands of students and teachers and closely interviewed hundreds of toppers of different competitive examinations. So without much ado, let's move on to the first secret. The first secret which most of the toppers share is that they do not come in the examination with a fixed strategy. They browse the paper and then decide the sequence which is based upon the difficulty level. What I'm trying to say is that, every student has its strong and weak subjects, and most of the students I have seen, they say that physics is my strong subject. I would always start my paper with physics, or biology is my strong subject. I will start my paper with biology. But what if physics or biology becomes as the most difficult section? So what most of the toppers do is that instead of coming with a fixed strategy, what they do is that they browse the paper for 5 minutes and then decide the sequence in which they would attempt different sections. The second strategy which most of the toppers adopt is that they allot 90% of the total time between different sections. So what I'm trying to say is that if your test paper is of 3 hours or 180 minutes, you allot 150 to 160 minutes and divide that 150 minutes or 160 minutes between different sections. You leave a scope of 15 to 20 minutes. That additional time of 15 to 20 minutes can be used as a last minute revision, last minute recap, any questions which you want to come back to, anything whatever is left or anything which is incomplete which can be done quickly. So you should always allot 90% of the total time you have and complete the entire paper, and the additional and the balance 10% of the time comes up as an additional or bonus time which you have. The third tip which most of the toppers do is that apart from focusing on speed and strike rate, they also focus on selection of question. So what that means is that in most of the competitive examinations, there are easy questions, there are average questions, and there are difficult or different questions. I intentionally do not call them difficult because I firmly believe that questions in competitive examinations are not difficult, they are just different, and what they require is a different approach, a different perspective, a different mindset. So what most of the toppers do is that whenever they are attempting the paper, apart from focusing on speed and strike rate, they also equally focus on selection of question. Selection of questions means what to do and what not to do, what to do and what to leave for the last round. Selection of questions is extremely important because if you get entangled in a question, you might end up spending 10-15 minutes in a question without being able to solve it. Additional 10-15 minutes on a question can throw your entire strategy for a 6, or your entire strategy or your entire momentum for the paper goes for a 6. So focus on selection of the question. The fourth strategy which most of the toppers adopt is what is called as MAT, which means maximum allotted time. What it means is that if your MAT is 4 minutes, they would not give more than 4 minutes to a question. If a question is taking more than 4 minutes, they would skip that question and they would move it forward and probably try to come back to that question in the last round or leave it at all. And MAT can be decided depending upon paper to paper, depending upon the time to time. For example, most of the JEE aspirants have an MAT of 5 to 6 minutes. Most of the NEET aspirants have an MAT of 3 to 4 minutes. The MAT varies from paper to paper, subject to subject, and the total time you have. Another thing which is extremely important over here is that if you're solving a question and if for any reason you are not able to solve the question and your MAT is over, then what you do is that you put whatever calculations you have done for that question in a box and write question number 25 or whatever is the question number on the top of the box. The idea is that if at all you want to come back to that question after you are through with the entire paper, you have your whatever work or whatever calculations or whatever solution you have worked for that question, that solution or that working is there in a box, so you don't have to start right from scratch. You can start from wherever you left to. Also, another corresponding thing is that whenever you are attempting a paper, never make any question a matter of prestige. You are not expected to solve 100% of the paper. So do not make it a matter of prestige that come what may, I have to solve this question. Your objective is to maximize your score. And in order to maximize your score, you might have to skip some questions, you might have to leave some questions, irrespective of the fact that you can solve it and you know the question. So don't make any question a matter of prestige. Tip number 5, which most of the toppers do, is that they focus only on one question at a time. Now, this is extremely important. And what I said in tip number 4 is that if for any reason you are not able to solve a question, put that in a box and write question number on the top of the box. So what it means is that, once you put that question in a box and write that question number on the top of the box, take it out of your mind. उसको दिमाग से निकाल दीजिए. उसको यही सोचिए कि लास्ट राउंड में जब आऊँगा, अगर टाइम मिलेगा और स्ट्रैटेजी परमिट करती है तो मैं इस क्वेश्चन को अटेम्प्ट करूँगा. फिलहाल, for the moment, I will focus only and only on the question. 100% focus, 100% concentration, 100% attention should be given to the question which I am solving at this point of time. Another technique which most of the toppers adopt, and this is also very interesting, is that you should not look at the students who are sitting in front of you, or you should not look at the students who are sitting besides you. Do not even try to look at the invigilator. Why I'm saying so is that whenever you're looking at a student who's sitting in front of you or besides you, it can lead to distraction. It can, you are not able to solve a question and you are thinking like this, and then suddenly you see that there is another student who's busy solving. It can bring your morale down. It can lead to distraction. It can disturb or bring your focus down. So what is advised is that whenever you're solving a paper, your 100% attention, 100% focus should be only on your desk, only on the question paper, and only on the OMR sheet. Another technique which most of the toppers do is that what is that they do so as to mark the OMR sheet. Now, when they are marking the OMR sheet, specifically discussing this is that because I have seen a lot of students in the last 4 or 5 years who have solved the question correctly, but while marking the OMR sheet, they make the mistake. So what most of the toppers do is that if they have solved question number 2 and the answer to question number 2 is C, what they do is that they would recollect, or they would think in their mind 2 ka C. They would go to the OMR sheet, and there is an internal voice which is there in their mind, and they are speaking in their mind 2 ka C, and while marking their OMR sheet, they are continuously in their mind revising 2 ka C, and they mark the option C. This becomes extremely important. I would not like to comment that whether you should mark the OMR sheet at one go or you should mark at the OMR sheet one by one, because whenever I spoke to a lot of toppers, almost all the toppers have had different strategies. There were a lot of students who said that they do it question by question. Then there were a lot of students who said that they do it section by section, and there were a lot of students who said that they do it once they have completed the entire paper. But it totally depends upon you. Whatever strategy works for you, you can mark the OMR sheet according to that strategy. Another technique which most of the toppers do is that you have to stay calm and relaxed. I was interviewing a JEE topper, and he said that while he was attempting a JEE mains paper, after 5-7 minutes he realized that his mouse was not working. But this boy did not lose his temper, or did not get excited, or did not got anxious. He stood up and politely said to the invigilator, "Sir, my mouse is not working. Can I request you to please change the mouse?" And by the time the invigilator changed the mouse, he was silently working on the question paper, and his 100% attention and focus was on the question paper. So what I'm trying to say is that when you're solving a question paper, or when you're attempting a paper, you might have anxiety attacks, you might have mental blocks. Whenever you get anxiety attack or mental blocks, you can use simple breathing techniques wherein you close your eyes, take a deep breath, hold it for a minute, and then breathe out. This technique, if you do it 2-3 times within 60 seconds, you probably would be able to come back. You would be able to keep yourself relaxed and calm. And whenever you are doing these deep breathing, I would also advise you that think about some good experiences of your life. Think about the images in front of your eyes wherein your parents are hugging you, you are winning a prize, your parents are proud of you, and all those kind of. Try to swap bad feelings with good images, good feelings, and that is the only way. If your mind gets blocked, or if you have an anxiety attack, that is the only way to come back in the examination mode within less than 60 seconds. Another advice which most of the toppers do is that irrespective of fact that the pattern and everything is decided, you should read the instructions very, very carefully. Now, most of the competitive examinations have some small changes here and there, and even a small change, if it gets unnoticed, can make a huge difference. There are different sections which have a different marking scheme. There are different sections which have a different negative marking scheme also. So it is advised that, however, we know that there is not going to be any changes, but in spite of that, it is highly recommended that you should spend 2 to 3 minutes in reading the instructions very, very carefully, because that makes a lot of difference. Another technique which most of the toppers suggest is that you should use intelligent guessing. If the negative marking is 1/4, and if you can rule out that these two options are incorrect options, it makes sense to do some little bit of intelligent guessing. Some of the toppers who were preparing for NEET examinations also said that you should not look at the options before reading the question. So because when you look at the option, your mind is pre-framed, and it is only thinking about the options. What instead makes more sense is that you should read the question carefully, read it once, read it twice, and only then go to the options. Another tip which most of the toppers suggested is that you should not do too much of switching between different sections. So what it means is that, for example, if you are attempting a NEET paper, you should not do too much of switching between physics, chemistry, and biology. And why this so is that because different sections, when we are trying to solve different sections, the different parts of the brain are working. When we are solving biology, or when we are solving inorganic chemistry, which are read-based subjects, a different part of the brain is working compared to when we are solving a physics problem, or when we are solving a physical chemistry problem, the different part of the brain is working. And if too much of switching happens between the different sections, the brain also gets confused, and at times it is very difficult to build up our focus and to concentrate on one question. So what is advised is that you should follow a sequence and do not try to do too much switching between the different sections. So these were some of the things, these were some of the tips, these were some of the strategies which most of the toppers use. I would sincerely advise you to use these techniques or use these strategies in the mock test series which you attempt. Try to find out what works for you and what doesn't work for you, what works best for you, try to adopt them. I'm sure that if you apply even 2 to 3 of these techniques can help you in improving your score by 10 to 15% of the marks. In the end, I would just like to give you a small message. मेहनत का पाया अल्प नहीं होता, जो अधूरा रह जाए वो संकल्प नहीं होता, हार को रखना अपने से दूर क्योंकि जीत का कोई विकल्प नहीं होता.